What's up, boy? It's your boy Lo with Cinemental, Imagery, and Entertainment, back with another episode of MBT. My bad, man. I know. Wait a minute. There we go. My bad. Like I said, man, I know that it's already past Tuesday. It's Wednesday, and I'm giving you Tutorial Tuesday on a Wednesday. I do want to apologize for my late post, and you know what I'm saying, like I said, it's late in both ways because I don't like the time of the day that I'm starting this right now. So, it's all good. We here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what was that at the beginning? What was going on at the beginning you wanted to know? Well, that's today's lesson. Today's lesson, we will be talking about white balance. White balance is the process of removing unrealistic color casts so that the objects which appear white in person are rendered white in your photo or video. Proper camera white balance has to take into account the color temperature of a light source, which refers to the relevant warmness or coolness of the white light. What? Basically, translating the bullshit again for you, white balance is basically, if you didn't know, all lights aren't white. Most light bulbs have a yellow tint to them. And like I said, the beginning, you see how it was like a different color or whatever, and then, I had to white balance it. That's basically what that is. White balance is, most times some people, you choose something white and you click on it and you're able to adjust based off of that, white in there. Notice I'm wearing a white hoodie just for y'all today, even though I don't necessarily need this, because there's a lot of different ways to do white balance. All right, now the first way that we're going to go about when it comes to talking about white balance is there are different settings on your camera. They all have these auto settings on your camera. They have a tungsten light, a fluorescent light, a cloudy day, a shady area, sunlight, all that. It's all in. If you go into your white balance settings in your camera, you will see all of those settings down there at the bottom. They all have their own little icon or whatever. So when you're dealing with your white balance, the point is to pick something that matches the scene itself. So if I go outside and it's a cloudy day outside, I'm going to set my white balance to cloudy. If I come inside of a house, I might set it to tungsten because it more than likely has tungsten lights. Or if I walk in a place that has fluorescent lights, I'm going to set it to fluorescent. Sunlight, clouds. Basically, that's how you do it. But it doesn't always do what it's supposed to do. Sometimes it ain't giving what it's supposed to have gave. You know what I'm saying? However, there's a more advanced way to break down white balance, because you want all your whites to be white. I think I just said all of that without giving y'all the definition again. So my bad. Let's rewind. No rewind. All right. So anyway, with white balance is basically keeping all the white things white. You need the white things to look white because it makes all of the colors look natural. That's how you get the natural color. Otherwise, you're going to get something that looks really cool or really warm. You know what I mean? So you got to understand that. Remember when I'm always talking cool tones and warm tones and things like that? You got to understand what I mean by that, and it means more than just the saturation or desaturation of the colors, because sometimes, you can use that and it kind of, depending on the color, it saturates or desaturates. Anyway, and in the more advanced way, it's going off of anybody out there who like numbers, who like stats, who like parameters. There's a specific parameter to measure light called Kelvin. The lower the number, the warmer the tones. The higher the number, the cooler the tones. So usually myself, I like to set my light, because I have a light that, and then I got this other light back here. LED lights are usually more of a cool tone, I guess, because anything that it presents more white light, so you can set it to almost whatever, to be honest with you. But they specifically, the whiter it is, more than likely the cooler it is, quote unquote. It just kind of works that way, I guess. You know what I'm saying? However, like I was saying, I like to set my camera and my key light. This is what this is. I need to break down those for y'all. So we gonna get into that, but right now I'm just trying to teach y'all all about the camera. Remember last week we talked about the basic settings of the camera, on how to necessarily get a good shot, and this week we're gonna make the shot look pretty, basically. You know what I mean? Well, not really necessarily. It's really just another step into getting, you know, more advanced with your camera. But like I said, my key light and my camera are usually set to the exact same Kelvin. Most of the time, 5700. Why? Because that's my favorite number. You know what I'm saying? So the light and the camera is, in my opinion, is always set to 5700. So, which is a cool light. The warm, if I take it down all the way to like 2000 or something like that, or 2200 or something like that, it's gonna look a lot more warm. You know what I mean? It's gonna look a lot more warm. And if I turn it way past, like let's say I didn't have my camera set. Let's say I had my camera set at 3500, but then decided to set my light at 5700. It might look a little more like this. You know what I mean? But like I said, if I have the lights or the camera set too high and the light set too low, it might look a little bit more like this. Now the problem that I was saying with auto white balance is sometimes it doesn't completely get it right on. It's not going to get it spot on. It's not going to get it spot on, because, you know, if you want it spot on, you want the light. And then auto white balance is a bad thing. I'm going to tell y'all why auto white balance is a bad thing. Auto white balance is bad because when you're using auto white balance, anytime the light slightly changes in, you know, in Kelvin by the littlest of bit, your camera starts changing. The camera gets lighter, darker. The camera will start hunting for focus at times. Like, it depending on the type of camera you got, you're gonna get all types of issues with just white balance alone. You know, just the white balance alone. So the whole point is to white balance your camera. You know what I mean? Properly. So again, this is a quick video because the main purpose today was on white balance. You know what I mean? Like white balance, white balance, white balance. Like I said, you can, like I said, you got it cool tones, warm tones. You know what I mean? Cool tones being the higher number, warm tones being the lower number. White balance, guys. And the whole point in white balance is so that the viewer is able to see it exactly like it's supposed to see in real life, you know. So that's what you want them. You want skin tones. The main thing always, you could change the background color, you could do this, you could do that, you could change the color of my clothes, any of that. But what you can't do, skin tones need to be perfect. Skin tones need to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing. So basically, work with your white balance. Play with your white balance. I'm not even going to get, this is where we're going to stop today. Today is about white balance and white balance only. Basically, what you're going to do this week, you know, and leave your comments down below. Did you go do last week's lesson? Did you take in last week's lesson? Did you go out and take some pictures using your shutter speed, changing up your aperture, changing up, you know, your ISO to get different looks and everything? Once you have and you start getting that down, now add this tool with your white balance so you can actually get it to look the way you want to. Because I know you done went outside before and then, you know, all of a sudden it was either really blue or really orange, you know, and it just looked real bad. You know what I mean? But however, that none of that matters, because right now you just got the lesson you needed. None of that matters. You got the lesson you needed to make sure that's good. Don't use auto white balance. I repeat, don't use auto white balance. It's just going to keep changing your image. It's going to mess up a lot going on. It might be good for photos at times, but nobody wants to use white balance. You're relying on the camera to do the work for you, and that's the whole point. Is that you're watching this channel because you don't need the camera to do it for you. Once you learn how to do it, then you'll learn when to let the camera do it for you. It's not to say that it's not a professional thing to do. It's not to say that it's the worst thing to do or anything like that. But the whole point is, don't just let it do it and then you don't know what you're doing. If Teslas drive themselves and they didn't require you to drive yourself, nobody would know how to drive in about 15 years. But unfortunately, Tesla does not just drive itself, regardless of what you may think. You know, you have to touch the wheel every once in a while, otherwise it's gonna pull over and beep, 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 and it ain't gonna drive you no more. Don't fall asleep behind the wheel, bro. Alright, so that includes today's video. Like I said, white balance, man, you know what I'm saying? Y'all already know, go do it, go out there in the world, take some pictures, you know what I mean, fumble around with your white balance in different lighting scenarios and all those things, and then come back and post next week letting me know exactly how you did. I appreciate it if you're posting down there now about last week's video or whatever the case may be, man. Shout out to my day ones. I appreciate y'all for checking out each and every last one of my videos, man. If you need something from Bose, Microsoft, all that stuff, you know what to do, man. The link's down in the description, man. Yeah, cinementimagery.com and all that other stuff, man. Hey, man, like I said, I can't thank you enough. The 3 people who are watching this video. So thank you very much, and you guys have a wonderful day. 1.